Screwed news, the wealthy elite don't want you to go solar. According to the Solar Energy Industries Association, a new solar power system is installed every 3 minutes in the United States, and much of the growth in solar power is being seen on the local level, with more and more Americans opting to install rooftop solar systems for their homes in an effort to save on electricity costs. But some people and organizations are trying to prevent Americans from going solar because it would mean a hit to their bottom line. According to Cliff Weathers over at Alternet, the utility industry, the Koch brothers, Walmart owners, and ALEC are all teaming up in an effort to stop the rooftop solar movement. So why are they trying to shut down solar power? And can anything be done to stop them? Joining me now to talk more about all of this is Brennan Fisher, General Counsel for the Center for Media and Democracy. Brennan, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So the Walton family, ALEC, the Koch brothers don't want me to have a solar panel on my roof? I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, so rooftop solar has really been growing over the past few years, and these are solar panels that people put on their houses. And one of the big benefits for individual owners is that the excess energy that you generate goes back into the grid and you get reimbursed for that. So it creates a financial incentive to build these rooftop solar panels. And these also have been shown to really be beneficial for local economies. You have jobs for the installers. In many cases, the solar panels are built locally. So the way that ALEC, at least, has been going after these net metering policies is to try and change the calculation for how reimbursement is offered to homeowners, or in the case of Arizona, to impose a surcharge on rooftop solar, which essentially takes away the financial incentive for individual homeowners to build rooftop solar.
I get it. The Koch brothers are in the oil industry. That's where they started out, and so rooftop solar competes with that. The Walton family baffles me, and these are, quote, conservatives, right? I thought a conservative trope or meme or whatever was independence, right? The rugged individual. I put solar panels on my house, I'm becoming more independent. Shouldn't that be like a high conservative value?
Yeah, and actually it is. And I think this is a good example of where profit motive bumps up against ideology. So in Arizona, for example, Barry Goldwater's son, who is a legendary conservative, he actually supports net metering. He supports individual rooftop solar. But the Edison Electric Institute, which is the trade association for utility companies, and Arizona Public Service and the Kochs see rooftop solar as a threat to their business model. And where the Waltons come in is the Waltons are the owners of a company called First Solar, which does not produce rooftop solar panels. They produce commercial solar panels. So big, huge solar panels, and rooftop solar is a threat to their business model.
So they're doing basically centralized, industrialized power that they can push out to the grid, and they don't want anybody pushing power back to them.
That's right, and actually the Institute for Local Self-Reliance, which did a great report on this, compared the First Solar business model to a Walmart model, where you have centralized production, or you have centralized ownership, but you have outsourced production. Around 80% of the production of First solar panels happens in Malaysia, happens overseas.
Wow. Isn't this the poster boy, a classic case for helping Americans to understand the difference between public and private spheres, what the commons is versus what should be private, and how natural monopolies like utilities, only one electric line is going to come into your house. You can't buy electricity from 5 different competing companies. How natural monopolies should be in the province of the public sphere, if not by regulation, then even by ownership, that it's entire, about half of America, I think, gets their electricity right now from publicly owned utilities, but the other half from privately owned utilities. I'm assuming it's the privately owned utilities that are the ones that are driving this kind of thing. Can we use this as a teachable moment?
Yeah, I think in large part that's right, that it is privately owned utilities, and this is a threat to their model, because instead of it being a centralized utility that's pushing out energy to homeowners through sort of a spider web type of model, right. You have individual homeowners who are creating their own electricity, and in many cases creating an excess of electricity. And as storage models as batteries and storage models become better, you can get into a situation where you have something like a sharing economy. At least some have viewed this as a possibility. where individual homeowners can actually create excess energy and trade credits or trade energy with one another instead of relying on this traditional outdated utility model.
Yeah.
And of course, you have these embedded monopolistic utilities who don't want regulation for them unless it protects their business interests, but they do want to regulate the heck out of everybody else or anything that poses a threat to their model.
We just have a minute left. We've seen in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where with broadband, they've turned that into a public function, and you can't have your own internet, but everybody has access to the web. Are there places or utilities that are encouraging net metering to put solar panels on your roof?
I'm not aware of that, but I do know that the effort to crush locally owned broadband, local internet, was also an ALEC initiative. ALEC pushed these preemption bills to prohibit local governments from creating their own municipal broadband. They pushed those for many years, and they were successful. And now a majority of states have these municipal broadband preemption bills, thanks to ALEC.
Wait, in a majority of the states, it's illegal for
local governments,
for a town to offer broadband. Wow. And in how many states is ALEC passing model legislation to make it harder for you to put solar panels on your roof?
They've tried in many states. They were successful in Ohio last year, where Bill Seitz, who's the ALEC state chair, compared. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up with another ALEC effort to crush renewable standards, the Renewable Portfolio Standards, what they call the Electricity Freedom Act.
So they're just getting going on this one.
They're just getting going on this particular one.
Brendan Fisher, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Great to see you.